Bizarre Brain Comics. Hi, Gary here for Bizarre Brain Comics, and I thought I'd talk a little bit about, highlight this portfolio here. This is Frank Thorne, Wizards and Warrior Women. But first I'll talk a little bit about the man himself. Okay, Frank Thorne, we just lost him last year at 90 years of age. So that was in 2021, early 2021, when he passed away. I was very sad because he's always been a favorite of mine. Frank had a long history in comics, and he started in 1948 doing romance comics at Dell and doing a bunch of other stuff for Dell and Gold Key, including he was co-creator of Mighty Samson, and did a lot of other stuff. He did some Western stuff at DC, like Tomahawk and Hawk, Son of Tomahawk. Some more stuff. He drew some more comics, and the like. And he was always known for doing very, very lovely and sexy ladies. And he really came to prominence in the early 70s on Marvel's Red Sonja title. Did that for several years, and he got some lovely young ladies who were models for him. He would take photographs and they'd get it in costume, and they would model for him. And they also had a show that they would take to malls and conventions and stuff. And I've seen a lot of pictures from that. The costumes were rather crude by some later comparisons. And but one of his early models was Wendy Penny, who is an artist in her own right, and co-creator of ElfQuest. Yeah, and she was a fine-looking young lady, I tell you. From the pictures I've seen when she was dressed up as Red Sonja, it'd have two or three ladies dressed up as Red Sonja, and Frank himself would participate. Yeah, Frank would get dressed up as a wizard. This is him right here. You can see him right there. That's Frank. He'd get dressed up as a wizard, and they'd do some kind of little skit or something. I don't know. And then after he did a few issues of Korok, Son of Tarzan at DC, and went on to do other things. Since he was so well known for doing the lovely warrior women, that's what he did here. He's got this portfolio, and he did other characters that he created, warrior women. Wanted to give you just an idea. One of his best known is Gita. And here is Gita, and that is what this lady on the cover. This is Linda Burrell, who was his main model for many years. And Gita was produced and published for through a variety of different adult-oriented magazines, fantasy and stuff. Because this is a story, but they're very sexy, and as you can see here on this portfolio, it's very, very sexy. But he didn't do stuff that was necessarily that graphic. Just a little look here. Flip through. Some great artwork. And Gita, she was a warrior queen. And see, here's a comparison. There is Gita, and there is Linda as Gita. Here's this Red Sonja, and some great stuff. This is an early version of Red Sonja with Linda Brill. And he did so many others. He did a science fiction one for heavy metal of Lan, and for Comico he did Ribbit. That's Ribbit right here. This young lady and has some kind of, this is a sci-fi fantasy, like post-apocalyptic world type thing. And he did all of them are mostly on a similar model of type of story. It'll always be the warrior lass as the main character, have one or more goofballs as kind of a henchman, and then some old guy who was like a wizard or a scientist or what have you, who kind of represented him, because he always modeled him after himself with his beard. Here he wrote some books, and this is Drawing Sexy Women. It's autobiographical sketches, and it's not a outright biography. It reviews some stuff, and stories about ladies who he has drawn, and about drawing women. And even in the back here, it has a couple pages of instruction as well. But it is, you can see here, just rife with pencil illustrations, some representing, there's Madonna, some representing specific people that he knew, what have you. There's the models. That's a version of Wendy Penny, and that is his interpretation of the original Red Sonja as she appeared in the Robert E. Howard story. Going way back. Some just lovely, lovely illustrations. So, okay, this is, now I want to get into this portfolio. You can see the entire thing. It's an oversized portfolio, and these prints are suitable for framing. And this here set is signed and numbered, so you can see his signature, signed Frank Thorne. This is number 130 of 1,000 that were printed, and I got it for very little. I can't remember exactly where I got it or how much it cost, but it didn't cost me that very much. It's Tiana. Let's see, Tiana, and so you can see that whole image better. And it has a lot of nudity in these drawings, but nothing overt. Just some the ladies are largely topless, and nothing is overtly graphically sexual. They're just sexy women. But the violence, on the other hand, that is very, very graphic, as you can see here. As you can see here, with the blood flying off of her axe. And this one is Zora. And as you can clearly see, the incredibly beautiful, lovely female figures, and then the extreme grotesque monsters who inhabit this world. And there is the wizard himself, the owl on his shoulder, representing Frank himself. And this one is titled Alizera. When she's fighting some really horrid critter right there, some kind of crocodilian monster. And here is Charisse. All these lovely ladies holding up the head from that corpse there. Very, very brutal, very graphic. And this one is Dahlia. It's got a really weird-looking monstrous pet there. And he started incorporating critters like this into Red Sonja some, but which don't really fit with the Hyborian age. But they weren't nearly as prevalent. And but they really populate his Gita world. He did another comic called Moonshine McJugs for, I guess it was Playboy and some other adult men's magazines. And it was again, Linda Burl was his model, and he modeled Pap after himself, and he was it was about hillbillies, kind of like a very sexy version of Lil Abner. And then this is Gita, very gory, very bloody. You can just see all the blood flying. Of course, there also appear to be in the rain, but the blood is just flying. And the nudity really has to take a backseat to the brutal violence in these. But they're such incredibly beautiful drawings. And this is Gita, who is later his main protagonist character in Gita of Alazar. So there you have it. This portfolio by Frank Thorne, Wizards and Warrior Women, from 1978, signed and numbered edition portfolio, as well as a glimpse at his Drawing Sexy Women book, and Gita, and what was the other one? I've suddenly forgotten. Ribbit, that's what it was. Ribbit. So thank you for joining me. I hope you really appreciate these Frank Thorne's artwork as much as I do. And please like, share, subscribe. Leave a comment. And remember, comics, ooh, look at those luscious lips, are art.